Carly Fiorina, who is now the second in line, behind Donald Trump in the recent polls, was the CEO of HP before she was fired for running the company to the ground and eliminating 30,000 jobs. Now, something you might not know about Fiorina's tenure is that she may have benefited from violating U.S. sanctions on Iran. Okay, now the Boston Globe explains. Reports indicate that Fiorina was CEO of HP when the company violated U.S.-Iran sanctions by selling printers to Iran through a third party out of Dubai. So you're probably asking, okay, so she sold a few printers to Dubai, so what? Well, except it happens to be a lot of printers. According to the report, the company sold so many printers to Dubai, who then sold them to Iran, that it held a 41% total market share in Iran during Fiorina's time as CEO. That's a lot of printers. 41% of market share of all the printers. Iran's a big country. And you have almost half of the entire market share through your Dubai subsidiary. Very interesting. Now, this got so shady during her time as CEO of HP that they were actually investigated by the SEC for selling printers to Iran through this third party. Now, the Boston Globe explained that though HP did not sell the products directly to Iran, they instead circumvented sanctions by utilizing this company from Dubai, which is a three-man company named Reddington Gulf. Now, here's a quote from the article. In 1997, 2 years after President Clinton banned trade with Iran, HP struck a partnership with a newly formed company to sell its product in the Middle East. At the time, the company, named Reddington Gulf, had only 3 employees, and its sole purpose was to sell HP supplies to the Iran market. There it is. It's spelled out. Now, in case you're wondering where they actually got that, it's from the actual Reddington Gulf website. Not only that, but it was a statement from Rajesh Chandragiri, who is the administrative manager of Reddington Gulf. Yeah, our sole purpose is to get HP stuff and to sell it to Iran. Now, she's going to get challenged here by Chris Wallace on this very thing on Sunday, yesterday. Let's listen to that exchange.
At the time you were the head of HP, there was a ban on any U.S. companies doing business with Iran. But while you were the head of the company, a European subsidiary of HP sold hundreds of millions of dollars of computer equipment to Iran. And the SEC ended up investigating HP for what it said was violation of the sanctions against Iran. How do you respond to that?
Well, first, HP, you need to remember, was larger than each of the 50 states. It's a larger budget than any one of our 50 states and a global enterprise. And so it's impossible to ensure that nothing wrong ever happens. The question is, what do you do when you find out?
Did you say, are you saying you didn't know about it?
3 years after, in fact, the SEC investigation proved that neither I nor anyone else in management knew about it, and the facts of the matter were the European subsidiary apparently was doing business with another company in the Middle East. That company was doing business with another company that was doing business with Iran, and when the company discovered this 3 years after I left, they cut off all ties with those companies. The SEC investigated very thoroughly and concluded that no one in management was aware.
Oh, okay. So I see your explanation here. Oh, another company sold another company to another. It's really, really hard to find that out, except that, well, they found out. They just waited 3 years until after I got fired. She didn't leave the company. She got shit canned from the company, gone, fired, golden parachute and all, kicked out of the company, and then they found out 3 years after. So here's the obvious question. What kind of terrible CEO has no idea who their company is selling to? Oh, right. The kind of CEO that runs their business into the ground and then gets fired. And to this day, she was so bad that to this day, no other company will hire a CEO. I mean, there are a lot of companies trade CEOs around like they pass them around like doobies. Well, Carly Fiorina, she ain't getting passed around. She's getting passed over. She was that bad. And not only that, but this company from Dubai, as I said, whose main goal, as stated by them, was to sell HP stuff to Iran, was apparently named Wholesaler of the Year, and she yet had no idea what they were doing. Come on, man, that seems really fishy. Despite what she said about not knowing what was going on, the Boston Globe had actually reported on this, back in 2008. She knew about this. They reported on this years ago. And yet, nope. Didn't know about it. Okay. Now, finally, I have to come to this conclusion. Carly Fiorina is either incredibly incompetent as a CEO, or she's just not being honest. Or maybe there's always this alternative. Maybe she's both.